What's up, guys? Iron Books here. Cold as shit today, so can't show off the guns. But I'm here for a review of the second book of Isaac Asimov's robot series, The Rest of the Robots. Finished it yesterday, so I was on the mark when it came to when I was going to finish the book, which is really nice. All in all, thoughts? This was a pretty decent improvement from the first book, and I'll tell you why. Probably because of a couple things. One, my expectations, and two, the way that I'm reviewing books now. So, expectations first. After reading the first book and knowing that the robot series has a bit of a comedic tone when it comes to telling its stories, not as much in terms of a philosophical tone, not as much when it comes to a horror tone, though there was some elements of that in the first book of both of those things. It's majorly a comedic tone, at least from when I read it. And I think this is kind of a unique opinion of mine, because I don't hear anybody talk about how funny the robot series is. To me, a lot of these stories are just fucking funny. Especially, let me bring out the table of contents here. Especially the Victory Unintentional story. I believe that's the one. Where you have 3 robots that were designed to go on Venus, interacting with the Venus population, which are aliens. That entire story was so fucking funny to me. Just the amount of times that the people of Venus tried to kill the robots unsuccessfully, and the amount of times where the robots are set up in a situation where any living creature would have died easily and they just come out unscathed is fucking hilarious to me to see the aliens' reactions. Because they go from being extremely xenophile, extremely, is it xenophile? No, xenophobic, extremely racist in a term, to these robots and just all of humankind, and then just see them backtrack more and more and more, which is what the robots predicted would happen, because they're seeing the absolute physical feats of these robots, was absolutely hilarious. And to top it off with the end of the story being that the aliens thought that the robots were humans. They thought the robots were humans. And so because of that, they sought peace treaties with the humans because they thought they were these indestructible beings that don't need sleep, don't need food, don't need water, etc., etc., etc. Absolutely hilarious story. Definitely my favorite story of all of these in there. I don't know what it is, man. This is a comedic series to me. This is a very funny robot series to me. And I heavily enjoyed it, knowing that going into it, knowing that it has a more of a comedic tone. And so those moments, instead of surprising me, I expected it. And I was able to enjoy it much more so because of that. Second reason why I probably enjoyed this book much more than the first is due to how I'm reviewing books now. So for books that are around 200 pages or less, I am going to read the entire thing and then give a review opinion on it. Of books over 200 to, I believe, 300 pages, I am going to do halfway through. So for my next short book, I'm going to do a part 1 and a part 2 of the review, read halfway through, review, read halfway after, review. And then for 300 to 500, I am going to do in thirds, and then 500 beyond, I'm going to do in quarters. Separated this up just so that I can keep my opinions fresh, so that I can keep my thoughts fresh when it comes to reading these books. And I think that's why I enjoyed this one much more than I enjoyed the first book. Because the first book I did in quarters. And that book is even, I believe it's even shorter than this book. And so because of that, I wasn't enjoying it as much because I wasn't reading the book. I would spend 10 pages and then have to stop to review. So I wasn't really sitting on it. I wasn't really absorbing the content of it. And so I didn't enjoy it as much. Heavily enjoyed this book. Definitely my favorite out of the two so far. And I really wonder what the third book, The Complete Robot, is going to be like. Because it's a long-ass book. Over 600 pages. And from what I believe is correct, it is one continuous story. So, we'll see how Isaac Asimov does when it comes to writing a long, continuous story. He writes these short stories pretty damn good, so we'll see if he writes those long stories good as well. But yeah, guys, that is my overall thoughts when it comes to Isaac Asimov. Hilarious book. Had some of my favorite stories in it. And had some callback characters with Susan Calvin and Donovan and Bogart and Alfred Lanning as well. So nice to see those people again. Didn't hate them as much this time around as I did in the first book, specifically Susan Calvin. She was a much more enjoyable and likable character this time around. So that's all good and dandy. And so yeah, I am going to give Isaac Asimov's The Rest of the Robots a solid 4.0. Good, great book. I think it was great. I actually think that the reason why I'm not going higher is because it's so short. If it was a bit longer, had like 3 or more stories in it that I enjoyed, I probably would have given it a 4.5 or above. Even now I'm thinking about giving it a 4.5 or above. But I'm gonna stick with my gut opinion and say that it was a solid 4. Really good book. Really, really recommend the series so far. Some pretty dang good bangers. And yeah, we'll see if the third book keeps my attention. So, enough with that review. Now I'm going to be talking about the book that I am going to be reading next, which is Our Wives Under the Sea. First horror book besides Goosebump kid books I've read, that I've ever read. I'm hoping it's good. Really excited for it. Anyways, guys, that is all for me. Iron Books, getting out of here in this cold ass fucking weather. If you're in North Carolina, you know right now. And I hope you guys have a good time.